computer. Okay, you should have a notification that we're recording. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can see Helene Witt and me at the same time here.
Yes.
And sorry that your guys' pictures are small most of the time unless you're speaking. I don't understand why AI is messing with my computer. But anyway, welcome to the third session of Bringers No More, brought to you by the great Helene Witt, super successful at getting people to come to shows, and myself, the two of us.
Super successful at getting 40 people at her last show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, here's the deal, you guys. We know we've studied. Can you put that down? Thank you. We've studied the ins and outs and the good and the bad of bringers. We all have had private discussions how bringers drive us nuts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Bringer shows drive us comedians nuts for many reasons. And before Helene and I give you some of the secret tips that we've used to get people to come, we wanted you guys and us to talk about what we hate about bringers shows. So, yes, Helene.
Before we begin, we have a rule.
Yes, please. Thank you. We have a rule. The one rule is please don't mention the name of a club, a booker, a person. So keep it anonymous. And we don't really even need to know like what city or borough. Just if you have a complaint about someone or someplace, don't mention who.
Okay.
We all probably know who it is, but let's leave it out.
Okay.
Perfect. So what I'd like to do is say most comedians I've talked to, and probably Helene agrees, most comedians we talk to have a conniption fit when they hear about bringers or get invited or they're on another bringer show or they have 5 people or whatever. And so before we talk about the wonderful things about bringers and how to do far more than bringing in a whole different way, we want you guys and us to moan and groan and complain about this Bakakta bringer thing that's going on. So I come from out west. There's no bringers there. There's no such thing. So the clubs put a lot of money into getting people to the shows, as well before the pandemic. I don't know about now. And clubs have followings. They expect the headliners to fill the rooms. It's kind of the opposite of what I'm seeing in New York. Helene, what do you have that you see as a uniqueness?
Well, it's true. When I was in San Francisco back in the day, there was never, ever a bringer.
Yeah. So this whole bringer thing, nobody really knows where it came from. But personally, what drives me nuts is all of the onus of filling a club is now on the comedians who are not the headliners. And we're the least experienced at getting people to the clubs. I mean, the headliners have followings and so it seems headliners sometimes I've seen maybe twice in Las Vegas that people were standing around the corner to go to a show. So it's kind of like nobody's doing much about getting people to clubs, and yet there's so much that's put on the comedians who are not the headliners. That's my complaint. So, did you guys want to talk about what drives you nuts about bringers?
Well, I think one. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, it's echoing. Okay, one thing about that's different from when I did stand up 25, 30 years ago, there were no bringers. But what's happened now is the clubs are they want people that aren't necessarily funny or skilled. They go for these classes where, because if you've got somebody getting up doing stand up for the first time, they can get 10 members of their family to come once. And so you have a class of 20 people, and each one of them is bringing 10 or 15 relatives. And that gets, they're making thousands and thousands of dollars that way. Now, those aren't people that are going to continue doing stand up, probably, and usually are not particularly good at it, but they're getting a lot of excitement from their relatives who are excited to see them getting up in front of an audience. So that's my thought about bringers. I also think, it's not going away because the clubs are profiting by it.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. What do you have to say about that, Helene?
I love that because it reminds me of a show I went to watch, Alex in. The people brought tables. Each person had a table full with excited relatives and friends, and they were so turned on to watch their friend on stage. And
Right.
it's true that they might not continue. And I didn't think of it that way till Alex shared it. So that's what I have to say about what Alex said.
Yeah, I think that the clubs should want to train the comedians to be able to have a following, not go after a pacifier, see how many people you can bring. They should be training us how to have a following, how to have a product to take that people want to come and see, not where, like when we ask each other to come to the shows, it's like that's not a following. A following is where the taxi driver can't wait to hear you, and he brings his 3 family members, and then as we get even better at our comedy, they want to come back and hear new material. That's a following. That, and yet we're being asked to do the bare minimum, just get some people, fill all I care about is butts in seats. Yeah, that's half the problem. If all you care about is butts and seats, not quality, like you say, we're not really getting anywhere.
No.
The clubs can help, okay, Tom, tell me about your relationship, good or bad, or the pros and cons that you see, like from a seasoned male veteran of comedy.
Well, the pros of it really is it's a pro thing for the clubs. Like they'll do it before a regular show. Obviously nothing else would be going on, but now all of a sudden you could do maybe a 5 o'clock bringer show and all, and the club is making money from it. And like I said, which is a good point. Sometimes these are the first timers and only timers. They've got maybe their co-workers and all. Come see me do this. And it's just like a once in a lifetime thing for them. They maybe don't have any desire to pursue it. It's just like kind of a fun thing. But you can't stop that. I mean, you can't say, well, we're only gonna have people here on our bringer shows that are really into comedy. So it's profitable for the club. I mean, the negative is asking people to come and putting them maybe in a spot, or it's just expensive for them, and they might not want to do it. So it's just a matter of if you could get them to do it, and like I think I said in the previous show, if you do very well on a bringer show, are they going to have you back again? Only if you bring again. It's not like maybe, woo, this person's so good, Linda's so good, Helene's so good. Let's give them at least a Tuesday night regular spot, something on a quiet night, but because they're so good, they're going to just go, hey, you did well. You want to do another bringer show? So I don't know if it leads to anything.
Exactly.
Good point.
Yeah, because like there should be a path inside a comedy for success, where if you do this, this will happen. And we don't have, like, Alex is in SAG after, in the acting world, and they have bona fide rules, and there isn't any for comedy. So everybody gets away with whatever they want to do to us, and vice versa. Somebody can steal a joke from you, and there's no punishment. You know, there's no ethics, no rules. But as far as bringing, you're right. What you say, Tom, you know, it's just, it's not going anywhere. It just kind of locks you into being a good bringer. And then what happens is if you're good at bringing, like Helene is excellent at bringing, so somebody books her and she might be thinking they're booking her because she's a good bringer. When I say, no, they're booking you because of your talent, and they're not going to turn you away because of your bring, you know, then it becomes like a double-edged sword. Am I getting booked because I'm good or because I can bring a lot of people?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, let's say, Helene is good. We'll consider booking because she could bring 3 people. Wait, there's a person here. They're not good at all, but they could bring 15. Who are they going to pick? The unfunny person, probably, because they're going to bring 15.
Good point.
Right. Exactly. I saw in Las Vegas, oh, I wasn't supposed to say what city, sorry, or broke my own rule. I saw a major club have somebody had customers standing in line around the block to come see a TikTok star.
Mm.
And I went to the show because I thought I want to see what an hour and a half, nobody laughed. And that's comedy. But they filled the house.
They just babbled for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the people didn't laugh.
No. I've seen people who are super famous in different cities just phone it in, you know, and people come thinking, oh, this is a guy that used to be on this show and that show, and they get there and the person's not really, so they have a following, but they're just dialing in their set. They're not even trying, and they're, you know, and I've seen people come away so disappointed because they have a following and they can bring people, but when the people come, they're not. There's a reason why it's so heavy on bringers, because I think the people that some people that have huge names in the business aren't delivering the funny product, new material or funny. So there's a reason why they're leaning on us to have bringers. Because I mean, the headliners really, I mean, if there's a headliner on the show, people should be lining up to see the headliner, and they just have to tolerate us until the headliner gets there.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the club investing in advertising, or are they just depending on us and forcing us to bring? If you want to perform, you better bring a few people. How about the club spending their money on advertising? Or get a headliner that does fill the room and is worthy, so that if you have a few newcomers who don't have to bring so many and don't get the pressure.
Exactly. So what Helene and I have done is we put our heads together for a while now, trying to do this class where we share things we've done that we've found successful. So we know that bringers aren't going to go away, like Alex said that. And you're mandated, and there's some shows you want to get in front of certain audiences and you have to bring. So Helene and I are willing to tell you guys some of our secrets that we do, so that you can say, if you come away with one thing you want to try and see if it works, or 2 or 3 things. And then all we ask for this time is that if you try something or a couple things and you find that it works, we want you to type to us privately a success story, so that we can because we have now 2 clubs recently that are interested in some version of teaching their people this. So we're trying to use this to ignite comedians to try beyond the bringer mentality. And we're trying to encourage clubs to maybe do a little bit more. Do you see where we're going with this? Because we feel that clubs can do more. Clubs need to hear how we feel about these bringers. Producers and bookers need to know, and maybe that will encourage them to try a little harder if they see that we're trying harder. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Helene, you and I have talked at length, ad nauseum, about different ways. She actually is the reason why I'm getting bringers. Okay, so when people said bringer, it makes me tense up. I get nervous, my stomach hurts, my head hurts. I get physiological results from somebody asking,
Physical.
yeah. And so they'll say, do you want to be on my show? And I'll go, yeah. Well, it's a bringer. Oh, well, thanks for telling me after I said yes. How many people do I have to bring? Well, 4 or 5, whatever. So then you go in circles trying to find people. And I would tell Helene, the stupid bringers, I'm not used to this. And Helene, what did you say to me what would you say to somebody brand new to bringers?
I'd say Sebastian Maniscalco has to fill the garden for 4 nights after he announces it. The garden, that's what, 22, 30,000 people. You could call them bringers. You could call them fans. Then I'm saying names.
Oh yeah, well, that's
Somebody
not gonna hurt.
famous got on his stage at the garden and talked about he did some time, but he also reminded people that he had a show coming up or an internship. So there you go. These are the biggest comics in the country on stage promoting themselves.
Yes.
Or not on stage yet and promoting themselves. So I wanted to say that first. And then here are some of my ideas. Linda, can I use your example of the people from the veterans?
Yes.
This is a great, Linda had 40 people at, I won't say where recently, and I won't say the city, but she had 40 people. Did she have just relatives, friends of friends, people she met on the bus on the way? No, she had an organization, one person who was interested, and they brought part of their organization. How many, Linda?
A grand total of 15 people.
From that organization alone. Linda offered to help if anyone needed help. Not everyone could do that, but I'm telling you the truth. I sometimes offered. I like to help because I say it's your birthday. Why don't you come to my show? With the
this is important right here. Listen to this, you guys. The heart she has is way beyond an expectation of, you want to be on the show, you got to bring. Listen to her heart for people right now. This is the secret here.
When I think of somebody I want to come to the show, maybe it's their birthday showed up on Facebook, and that's how I even thought of them. And I said, it's your birthday. I'll pay for you. You've come before, or you're a dear friend, wherever they were from. So I do offer. If you don't have the money to offer people a seat, don't do that. I was able to do that. You know why? Here's what I say to myself, Tom and Alex. My friend puts on barbecues. He buys steak for people. He has fruit and vegetables and salad for them in the summer in his backyard. I don't do that. So I justify it in my mind. And then another night, I won't go out. I'll stay home and eat rice and ramen. I made that up, but that you get the point. I cut back that one day and I don't eat in a restaurant. So I justify in my mind why I could help someone out or offered to pay. And I might have gone off the main subject of ideas.
So what I was driving at is that what she does is she gets into, forget the club, forget the booker, forget the dive bar that wants us to be a bringer, do a bringer show. She says, who's out there that needs to get out of the house and enjoy life? I know so-and-so lost her husband. Oh, you know what? I know somebody else that lost their husband. Oh, you know what? I know somebody that lost their wife. What would happen if all 3 of them met? Now she's got 3 people coming.
That's funny. Once I put my cousin with my friend who was getting divorced, and he was getting divorced, and I didn't think about it ahead of time, but it was Valentine's Day. So why should they sit alone? Even if they're not divorced yet. I said, cousin blank, do you want to sit with her? I didn't even do it as a matchmaking, but they were both there alone. That was a good example, Linda. I forgot about them.
She does that. She's got a lady that she helped get an embroidery machine. And then she's Helene is always making connections. I always said if she was a real estate agent, she would be a gajillionaire. So I helped this lady get an embroidery machine, and I know other people stay at home and do little handicrafts. Why don't I invite a bunch of people to a show that's a bringer, and all these people that stay at home, they're locked in their house trying to make money, they can come and meet each other, and now they're all friends.
That one was in Atlanta, and Tom was going to Atlanta. Remember that time, Tom? You were going to Georgia, and
Yep.
this lady with the embroidery machine had a friend who had a comedy club. I told Tom about it. So that you're taking two separate stories, but that happened to have to do with Tom and
Mhm.
the club that a friend owned in Georgia.
Mhm.
But what we're saying is, here's my opinion. You can call me up and invite me to the bringer. But I say, I've seen somebody, and I won't say that person's name. Somebody was on a bringer show, and I was on the bringer show, and I got 3 extra people to come to my bringer show, and this person was missing a couple people, and the booker wouldn't let me take my extras and give it to the other person so the other person could meet him. It's like, what would that have killed you at all to just be a human? So these people that do this, they're very driven and they don't bend. And so what I do, if you tell me, Tom, I want to book you on a show, and I want you to bring 10 people, I go out and I try to get 20 people. I know that sounds crazy. It's a big, I'm exaggerating for the point. So whatever you tell me, 2 people, I'm trying to get 4, because odds are 2 of them are going to cancel. That's how the airlines work. I've seen it.
I never figure out who's coming. I mean, I send out the flyer and I've got this list, and I think you guys are on the list for those videos that I make, but I never know when people show up. I'm like astounded that anybody shows up.
Right. And you're at a different place in that you have an established acting career, and you have people that now want to follow you getting back into comedy. So that I would consider you in the space of having a fan base, which is amazing. That's where we all want to get to, where I just have a bunch of people and I don't know who's going to show up. I don't have to remind them. I don't have to sit in one, but you get people because you are an established actress.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, so there's, like, I guess I got myself off the beaten path. So when somebody invites me to a bringer show, I get really nervous and I start calling up Helene, and I've listened to Helene when I get upset trying to get people to a bringer. And what she has done, she and I have gone through this quadrant of 4 different squares on a page here, if you can see that. So Helene says, "Oh, you've invited everybody you know." So Helene and I came up with this thing where who do you know right now? And have you invited everybody that you know that you're in touch with regularly? Well, obviously I haven't. So that gets my wheels turning. Who else did I not think of that I really know that I'm in contact with? Like, I walk past my neighbor every day. We talk about her dog. Have I invited her? No. Why haven't I invited her? Just invite her. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe, everybody is so sad and depressed lately. Comedy is the perfect answer. And then another one of the squares is people that you don't know. So you think of, like, you're going to the bank and there's a new clerk and they don't know that you're a comedian. So you get yourself into a conversation, and you say, the other tellers know me and I'd never have met you before, but I'm a comedian. And I don't know if the world is getting you down like it's getting me down, but I know that people love to come out and laugh right now. And I'd love to have you come and laugh, enjoy yourself. What's in it for them? Because the problem with the bringer thing is really what's in it for them is to help us. And they can feel that. They know we're inviting them because we have a goal, a quota. But if you really sit and think about what you got into comedy for, to make people laugh and enjoy and forget their pain, and start looking for people that are bored or in pain or depressed that need to laugh, it turns the whole bringer. You can throw out the bringer thing and start really growing a fan base, because you're doing it for them, not for, it's a different point of view.
That's brilliant. What you just said is the key to this whole thing that we're showing people.
Thank you.
So you're not doing it because you have to, shut this guy up and get your people. You're doing it to bring joy to your friends. I went to a contest the other night.
I learned that from you.
Thank you. I went to a contest and it was full with grandmothers, parents, neighbors, friends for the contest. And I just looked at the joy on the people. I never think, not never, but I really think of it that way. I think I'm on a show. I'm nervous. Am I going to look good? Wow, the room is full. I'm extra nervous. No, look at the people who came to this show. They wanted to laugh. Yes, they wanted to support their colleague, but they also came to laugh. And I sometimes forget about that part. So we go to the store and we drum up a conversation and you invite them. And also location is important.
Oh, she's brilliant at this one. Wait until you hear this.
So I went to England. I have Beatle friends in England. So two of my Beatle friends came to my show in England. I know no one in Italy. I didn't have bringers in Italy. I went to Connecticut. I'm in an organization. You might be in a sorority. You might have friends from high school. You happen to know they live in Connecticut. Is it too far? 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday? It might be. But they could get a ride with someone else. That's what they did. So I had 6 people in Connecticut once. I had 3 people in Connecticut another time. And then you make it special because you appreciate them. So you take a picture with them. You put it on Facebook. Look who came to my show. It's not even phony. It's really joy. After the pandemic, Tom, how many people did you never see again? Let's get together in Connecticut. We never see each other ever again. In person. What a concept.
Yeah. And like I like having different surprises. I used to give out Las Vegas poker chips to people that would show up. They cost me like 30 cents a piece. Now I stop at the kiosks on the street where the probably illegal immigrants are selling things, and I buy those keychains for $1, and I give out New York City keychains if they show up to my comedy and I remember to bring them, but so sometimes you can say something's in it for them actually, or I've even done things where I give away a surprise gift. I'll buy it. I've given out many. I've gone to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and picked up things that are normally $10 that are marked down to $1, wrap them up, and then somebody there is going to get a nice gift that I got for $1. And it's a nice incentive. Anyway, back to the people you know now, the people you don't know now. You want to look for them and maybe make them laugh and say, oh, if you like that, you'd really love laughing at my show. That, oh yeah, you do a show. Yeah, I'm a comedian, and let me know, because I'd love you in the, like I force it out of me. I go, I would love to have you in the audience and see your beaming face as like you forget. I'd love to have you forget your problems, forget who is our president, whatever you want to forget. And you're drumming it into them that it's for them. You're not doing it for you. And that's a better way to get people motivated. And then think about the people in your past that
high school, yep, kindergarten, neighbors, friends of friends. I said to my friend, you have children who you drove to the soccer game for 10 years. They live in your city. How about their parents, their friends? Like, who knows someone who knows someone?
Yeah.
Exponential. Reach out. Bring your friend, bring your neighbor. Don't just come by yourself. It's fun. Girls' night out is a biggie.
She does these theme bringers. I mean, she's got a fan base in Long Island. I've had people in Long Island tell me she's a local celebrity. They don't think of her as the lady that comes from Queens and does bringers. She thinks of her. They think of Helene as a celebrity in Long Island.
Mhm.
So
That's funny, right, Tom? I'm laughing too.
no, but I was told
It's
that.
sweet. Sure, of course you're a celebrity to them. This is
Yeah.
true. You're
Yeah.
getting up on a stage in front of them. They're not getting up on stage in front of anybody. You
Yeah.
know, because I keep forgetting I have these. I have these little cards that Peppy made me. And, it's got one of those things on the back where it'll take you to the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's great to
But they're
have that.
really cute, these little guys. I forget to bring them, but I could bring those and give them to people.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what I did, Alex? I bought 4 sheets of magnet, 8x10 magnet, and you can put your business card on them. You peel it, and then they get a magnet with the card on it. And if they're little, you can
Nice.
make even more. And I heard Amazon will do it for you. There, I said a proper noun. But Amazon will do it for you, and you just get a package of them. I bought 4 for $18 at Staples, but you could get it made, and then everyone has a little refrigerator sticker with your
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah, when you give them something and like a QR code, like you're talking about, Alex, is perfect. 'Cause it makes it so easy for older people and younger people. And
Yeah.
yeah. And so
And
anyway, this is all about who you know now, who you don't know or you used to know. And when you start opening up to all those possibilities, they're really endless. I mean, how many people, Tom, did you go to high school with?
A lot at that high
Yes.
school. Brian, forget it.
And like if a reunion's coming up, say, oh, like I'm always telling my reunion group of things that I'm doing, and
Mhm.
you can you are you here's another one. People, you don't even have to try to get people to come to New York. I mean, to come to your shows that are just in New York City. You can think some people come to enjoy a play on Broadway and they stay in a hotel for a weekend. Maybe one night they could come to comedy. Or if you can even say on Facebook or invite people. I saw that you're planning on coming to New York City, or next time you're thinking of coming to New York City, I would be honored to be able to make you laugh.
Even if it's a mic, don't think Mike's at West Side. My brother's going to care if it's a show or a mic. He's not. Tom, I know you perform on Saturdays in Midtown. You have a friend from high school or who lives out of town who's sleeping over. Let them go to a mic. What's the big deal? Mike's, I don't differentiate. And Tom, I would say you don't either necessarily differentiate a mic or a show. Oh, it's not a show. They're going to see
No.
some cares. They're your friend from high school. Let them come and see you.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I want to don't get the chat groups. Go ahead, Alex. You were going to say something.
there are some mics, like I don't know if you've done the pit yet, but
Oh, you said a name.
We can't.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Well,
The whole-
it's on. Oh, I guess can't give a location either. Okay. Well, anyway, there are some of them that are, they're open mics, but they get regular people. There's bar shows, and there's a couple of places that are connected with schools that also teach classes in improv, for example.
Yeah.
When you do an
Good
open
not
mic
saying
there,
the name.
well, I know two places like that. And so what happens when they've got an open mic is that the students who are there anyway will come to those shows. So they're not
Excellent,
bad
Alex.
to invite people to.
Absolutely. That's
Excellent.
great. Tom, you wanted to say something.
Sorry.
Couple of things. First of all, question for you, Brie. Let's say I'm booked on a bringer show. I'm supposed to bring 4 people. Only 2 show up. If I said to him, listen, I will pay cover and minimum for an additional 2 people, would they let me on now then? Or would they probably say, no, we need human people here, even though you're going to pay the money that they would have paid if they showed up?
I think that most people would, but I think there's some that would think, oh, then I'm not being ethical. What do you think, Helene?
I think they should let you. I've heard horror stories where somebody had people there and they weren't allowed up, but I'd say they'd let you up if you bring 2, because that's 2 more than they would have had. And how could they disappoint your friends like that? That would
I
be
know.
inhuman.
But then again, if I said, yeah, I'll bring four, I don't want to bring two, I'm just thinking, if I said, okay, I'm going to give you an extra $50 plus a 2 drink minimum just so I could get on the two people in the show. I don't know if I would do that, but I was just wondering if they would even accept that.
That's generous
I-
as all hell.
I know one booker of a bringer show that would start yelling at you for about 5 minutes about that. But then the rest of them, as long as the club's making the same amount of money, I would
Yeah.
think that they would.
I would think. I thought of a couple things while you were talking. I had this book. I don't know if it would be apropos anymore. It could be it's post-COVID. This woman who would seek sponsors for the comedy show. In other words, an organization would pay money to that person, but then they have advertisements up for that company or product.
That's
Uh,
great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great idea.
The
Sponsor
woman's
her.
name is Karen P.
Oh, don't say the name. Don't say the
Oh,
name.
Yeah, no name. We'll tell
Tell her
us
later.
privately, please.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
that. So
Yeah.
one way to get a fan base, because like when they want us to bring, that's a way that scares us, makes us work hard, and does very little for us and very little for the people that come. They come one time, like Alex says, chances are they don't come. We want to get people to be repeat offenders and keep coming back until and exponentially, like Helene says, get their neighbors involved next time and have it grow. That's a fan base. And
So
so
you need to keep developing your material so it's not the same material all the time too.
That's
that's key.
another story.
That is so
Yeah,
good.
yes.
Yes, because if you do the same material, they're gonna quit coming. Now Helene will throw in a new joke or a new bit, not the whole entire set.
And I tell them, I'm sorry, I'm just going to give you one little new thing and I'm going to resort to my old because that's works for the audience. I tell them, like, I apologize and clean it up and take responsibility, but I do, unfortunately, do that.
Yeah. So another way to grow a fan base, we're going to start throwing out ideas on growing a fan base. What's going on with the computer screen? There we go. Is like we were talking a minute ago, I think Tom and Elaine were talking about doing something in the community. And when you go and you remember how John F. Kennedy had the saying, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for you. It's the same way with a comedy club or a dive bar or a booker. If you go into it, not just with the people you try to get to come to shows, what's in it for them, but if you try to go into your community to see what you can do for your community, then that'll be a way that people know that your heart's in the right place. Like, for instance, I get invited to a lot of shows all over the country. Not because I'm not funny, because Lord knows my material ain't that great yet. And I'm not that great of a comedian, but I'm getting invited because I have a fan base of bookers and club owners because I've interviewed so many people. So
2,000 almost.
1,203. And so 2,000? You think?
Not 1,200.
Yeah. What do you think?
You have 1,860.
I do. Oh, I must have a brain injury. Anyway, so I have a lot. So because I've interviewed so many people, they see my heart. They see that I'm not out trying to be better than all the other comedians. And so they book me. And the same thing happens when you go to like your bank and you say, wow, I haven't seen very many. Okay, let me go to a real thing. I went to a diner here close to where I live, and I see nobody's in that diner day after day. So I approached the owner and I said, wow, I see there's very few people that come into your restaurant. And he said, yeah, it's been kind of slow since the pandemic. I mean, we have food we deliver to the hospital, but other than that. And I said, how would you like to open up your restaurant where I get people to come here for breakfast and we sit around and write jokes? So I'm doing something instead of going in and saying, this would be a great place for you to let me do a show where I can charge $20 and make some money. That's what's in it for me. I went in with the attitude, real heart. heartfelt attitude, this place is going to close up if something doesn't happen for this guy. And what can I do to bring him some business through comedy? So now I have a buddy that loves the idea that I'm trying to get people. Very few have shown up. It's just been Helene and me so far. But the point is, he knows I have the heart to, what can I do for him and his business? And that's the same thing with trying to get people to your bringers. You know, really, you want to grow a fan base by showing people you care about their lives.
Okay, could we go up to chats now?
Yes, ma'am.
So in an unknown place that we perform in, there are these chats on Facebook, singles, Nassau County, Suffolk County, North Nassau, South Nassau, you get the idea. All these different groups within groups, events. And I invited them to a free show at a library every month. And all of a sudden, 60 people, brand new people, Tom, you saw them, brand new people. I don't know if they came because of one of my chats, two of my chats. I don't know if they met each other, but there they were, brand new blood, 60 people. Then they had to open the back room because we were in the basement. So that really works. The fact that it's free didn't hurt. So
You have to find a place, a venue to do that.
oh,
That's so
this
easy.
is something that we do every month for years. It's been going on for years. I just had the idea of bringing, it's a whole auditorium, and you know, it's filled with a couple of people every month. I got 60 people to go because it's free. But this is really, I don't have to bring anyone to the library, but because I put it on all these chats, it was something for the people to do, seniors, people who want to go somewhere in the afternoon once a month. They could put it in their calendar because it's consistent. And then besides doing that, what did I say to myself? Invite them to your bringer where they do pay money. It doesn't hurt. Put out the same ad, only say this one costs 30, you know, with the fees and all. This one will cost you $30 and 2-drink minimum, but it's in the same spirit. Who wants to meet each other, sit together? Linda had a singles group of women and one man, 6 of them. It filled up half the club that night. And they paid to go, they paid for their drinks, and they sat together. Singles group from the WhatsApp chat.
Find a place. You need to find a place that'll have you for nothing. You know, like I don't know how you work this thing out with this library thing. I mean, I think most libraries wouldn't do that. I mean, we could always ask the senior center.
There's library shows all over.
Ask Tom. Tom is the king of library shows, but did he ever fill it with the WhatsApp chat? That would be the next step. Alex, why don't you ask that Jefferson Library? There, I said a proper name.
Yeah, they just put out a thing. They're doing something new. That's a possibility. But I mean, I was thinking of senior centers.
Yes,
Yeah.
Alex, there you go.
Because
And it's your show, and you can have it.
Often they have stages. They have actual, not every one, but some of them do.
There's one uptown we all went, and it's big. It's bigger than the turnout for lunch is much bigger than the one we go to. I won't say the name, but the point is, after they ate lunch, they had a comedy show. Did we get paid? No, but there we were. It was already filled. But we're talking about 2 separate things. Alex, you just got yourself an idea. Good for you from this seminar.
That's amazing.
I'm talking about something that's been in existence for 25 years every month, but I
Right.
doubled and tripled it. But not just did I fill it with 60 people, I'm not bragging. I thought about my bringer show where I have to bring paid people.
And so
then
some
Linda had 6
people-
of them. So it's a
Some of those
reality.
people it was a spillover. They went to the one show and they had a good time. So then they will come to your bringer shows.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
can reach out to your libraries. Tom is Mr. Library, I swear. Right, Tom? He does
I've done-
libraries like crazy.
Unfortunately, some of them now have stopped doing the open mics. Forest Hills has stopped. There used to
Don't
be
say
the Main
Yeah, we're
Street
not
in
supposed to say
Flushing did
names.
it.
Don't say names.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
some have stopped doing it.
It's so
Later
hard.
on, I could tell you one library that does. If you want me,
And-
I'll do private
and
message.
the mics are great, but also senior centers and libraries are great places to fill the place for a show. And you can go in and approach it by saying, you know, if you need donations, what greater way if comedians have people coming here to hear comedy, and then you can pitch the idea for donations for your senior
For a
center.
donation, yeah.
I know
Right.
I did a one-woman show at a venue off Broadway, and it was a fundraiser for a homeless scenario. And so the funds went to give. So there's ways that, you know, you can be helping the club and you can be helping a fundraising.
So if you're homeless, or you've been homeless, or you're a widow, or you're a single man, or you're a retiree, there's a theme that you could latch on to.
Themes are great. And, you know, like, oh, you could go into any business. I've seen somebody that's a booker walk into a shoe store, and now this person has a regular comedy show where you get paid inside of a shoe store when they close at night.
Wow.
And it brings people to the shoe. People are coming in there waiting to do their sets, buying shoes.
There's no business like shoe business.
So, yeah, so like it's endless what you can do. And when you start looking at it, like if I care about people, the karma will come back and people will love me and people will follow me. People will want to do. I have one lady, she will go anonymous, and I'm in like a business scenario with her that, you know, like it's a business. She wants to help my comedy career. She even said that. Where do you get that? Like, you can maybe say, you know, to people that you know really well, I'm just looking for a few key people that really have seen me try very hard, put a lot of effort in, and maybe be my champions. Maybe, you know, bring some people to my shows or talk to people that you don't, you know, new people. And
It makes them look good too, because they're bringing them to a good show.
and then my very first, I know we're hitting you with ideas because we're so passionate about this. We want to be in control of the bringer scenario, and we want to do far more than they ever thought we could. We want to explode, you know, we're screw bringers. We want to talk about a fan base. And my very first interview that I did, which I won't say the name, but you can go down and scroll through all and find out who she is. I interviewed a comedian, and every time she does a show, she passes out 3x5 cards with pointed questions on them to it ends in them signing up for her monthly email. I still get her emails. She has like a constant contact kind of thing. And you can create a newsletter. I know we know somebody that has a weekly thing for seniors that sends us constantly different letters of updating, interesting to read.
So do they know somebody?
And yeah, and that's what I meant by we all know. And you can slip in, and by the way, I'm going to be at the show, and provide something for people, and then have something that maybe you're asking them if they would like to come and enjoy their evening for a change at this venue or whatever. Helene is so good at in the invites. You know, she just doesn't say like me, I'll just take a flyer and post it. Helene has tried to train me. Even today, she was trying to train my stubborn brain. She was like,
For this.
yeah. She says, you're just going to post it. What about this? What about that? And I go, they can figure it out. Well, Tom couldn't figure it out because I didn't put no details in. I admit it. But the thing is that you can, I've lost my train of thought.
Also, we go to the dollar store and Linda buys those glasses for a children's party, like 6 for $1. She gives those out.
And those blower things where you go and it goes out and in. And like when you know, you can, before the show, if you don't have very many people that showed up, you can stand outside the club or around the corner and have, you know, and talk to people and just say, I'm having a show and I'm on the show. If you want to come and see how funny I am, or there's a lot of really good comedians on the show. Do you want, you know, like there are people are walking up and down these streets in New York and they don't know where they're going. They're trying to figure out where they're going. You can snag a few that way.
Yeah, you want to come to a show. That there are streets that are good for that.
Yeah,
Did we cover all the things?
so we talked about what the class is. We welcomed them. We did that.
Gave
You
tips?
gave tips, I gave tips.
You know what I'd like to do now? Alex, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah, ask us questions or make comments
I want to hear what you got. Oh,
after at the end. Yeah. Before you leave, I want to hear what you felt was worth your time. We do. We want to
can
hear
we
that.
do that now?
No.
Oh.
She wants to say something.
Oh,
No, I was yawning.
you were all bored.
Certain
she might
calls.
be
Not
lying.
your fault. I mean, I had to go to the actors thing today and a bunch of other stuff. So,
Okay. Well, we'd like to hear from you now. So we get passionate. Sometimes we get loud and we yell or whatever, but go ahead and tell us what you think about what you've heard.
And Tom, could you say something about the other day when you went to that Saturday night show and you had some people there? Could you share your experience of having those people and how you invited them and who they were?
But no names of the
Yeah.
clubs.
No. All right. And no names of the people either, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No, I just want to hear the spirit.
Yeah, the
Oh,
spirit, how you did it and how it
well,
went.
basically, a cousin of mine moved to New York City who used to live in the suburbs, and he's now a widow. And I just mentioned to him about me doing a show, and he's never seen me do one. So for him, he just took the downtown bus to this club and he came see me. My other person was just a fellow comedian who I asked, would that person be willing to come to the show?
Perfect.
And did. So that was basically it for
So
those
proud
people.
of
Now,
you, Tom. The fact that your cousin moved here and he's a widow now and you could fulfill something, plus he's your relative. These are the things that come your way, I believe. Out of the commitment, things come your way. Just
Mhm.
like Linda had 60 people, 40 people out of her commitment to have people. And you had a commitment to perform there, bring your people, and that came your way. And then you got a new cousin who could use your friendship and, kinship. And then your other friend, you open your mouth and ask. So good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. I know you don't love bringers that much.
and I'm going to ask again because I got another one where I know I'm going to ask to bring, and he might come back, even though he might hear a lot of the same stuff. But I might as well ask.
yeah.
See, and he has two sons that live in New York City.
Oh
I
my
might say,
God.
why don't you tell your sons to come to the show this time?
Go, Tom.
So
Good for you. I'm so happy to hear this because I know this is an area that's not that pleasant for you. So I'm thrilled. I'm getting chills from it. That's so great.
It's
Well,
gonna
I'm
make
not-
us cry.
I'm not an outgoing person like the two of you. I get to be shy about this stuff, but sometimes you got to go out there and all you can do is ask.
Sometimes when you're shy, it means more than us outgoing
Yeah.
people.
And Tom, you know what? I'm so inspired by that. You say you're shy, but you did it anyway, and that's inspiring to people. That's like a motivational speaker who says they used to be this and now look, or good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You did it, and because of that, you're on a good show, and the people love the show. I'm sure that's a good show you went to. And that's another thing before I want to say some people say my cousin went, it was a smelly show, or I was embarrassed about the show. I don't ever have that. I think, well, I can't say never, but here's what I'm going to say. I invite them to come see me, and they come see me if it's 5 minutes or I'm doing something I've done 100 times. It's never seemed to be a problem in my situation. I'm just happy they're there, and maybe I paid for it. They very rarely. Sometimes they'll say that was a stinky show, but not always.
Sometimes Helene gets embarrassed that the comedians are gross and graphic, and
That's my biggie. That is my biggie. If they're saying something against people, or somebody said something to Alex, and boy, I'm still mad at that person. Boom.
we get them one
Yeah.
time.
Right over my head, I have to tell you. So,
This is a Shakespearean actress you're talking to. You're going to reduce your stupid set to that? Why don't you have any material? Linda ganged up on him too.
Well, like I said the last time, another thing we could do is do a trade where, let's say, a certain club, you only have to have 2 people. And I get 2 people to come, 2 comedians. And I go, okay, next time you book that show, I'll be one of the comedians to come
Right.
get another person. So
We
there's a
support each
trade-off.
other. We've been doing that.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong, except we want you to be able to branch out, which you do.
Oh,
I know
sure.
Alex had a friend who filled the whole front of this. He was brand new and he filled the whole front, right, Alex?
Kip. Yeah,
Yeah, no
well,
name.
No
Kip
name.
is just what, oh, well, sorry. That's his nickname anyway. So, is just one of these people that's tremendously friendly and, I'm shy and I'm afraid to talk to strangers. This is not easy for me. I have to do a whole switch in my mind. And, I guess I could try it. Um, I'm
And you have a community. You have your actors, you have your senior center, you have your neighbors, you have your close friends. Make a list, maybe.
And anytime you're stumped on how to get people to any show, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call Helene. She can figure out how to get people. And if she knows anybody that of her friends that she can get to come to your show, I will too. I mean, we don't have to be the ones to come to your show. We can know somebody that can come to your show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know, Linda, if you look at Linda's Facebook, she does something I don't know anyone does. Bad English. Linda will share everyone else's show. She will share. Tom has a show, she puts it on. They don't even ask her. Alex has a show, she shares other people's show. She doesn't say, I'm not on this show, she just shares. That's karma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the John F. Kennedy, like what can I do for other people? It's come back to me tenfold.
It's
Mhm.
not being so selfish or linear or
We know people and we won't say who they are that, how did you meet that person? Well, you can't be on their show because I didn't introduce you to them. I introduced you to them or whatever. The world is so big. Open up the possibilities of who you could possibly invite and what can you do for other people by getting them to laugh. Like I don't care about how a booker treats me or a club or an agent because I didn't get into comedy for those guys to like me. It's great if they do, but I got into this so that I could have the most amount of people laughing and make them forget about their breakup or their house, they're losing their mortgage or anything I can do to make them be in the present and laugh. That's what I'm thinking when I'm inviting people. I'm not thinking about my fear of another godforsaken Vakakta bringer.
I had my college friend, she hasn't come yet, but it was so nice to see her on Facebook and invite her. And it's just fun. And then I had 2 friends who had something in common, which I won't say. It's not bad. It's just, anyway. And they got to sit together and I could say, you two have something in common. Even though you're 40 and you're 80, there's something I want to tell you, you two have in common. I was so happy they met each other.
Yeah, when you start seeing what you can do for other people, it gives you so much joy. The other night in closing, I just want to bring this up. My landlady, who's my friend also, we all went out to dinner and there was a waiter that came up to us with the heart of what we're talking about. He came up to us to see what he could do for us at our table. There wasn't any like, are you ready to order? Could you be faster? Could you be clear? He had so much joy in his face. He was beaming from ear to ear. He couldn't wait to satisfy us with how he treated us and make sure we had a good
And it was
experience.
closing time.
And it was closing time. The kitchen was closed. He got the kitchen reopened. We got perfectly cooked food, excellent par none service. And like that's what we're talking about is going way out. Seeing what you can do for other people will bring you so much joy. You will benefit. And the good karma, like she said, the good karma will come back to you tenfold.
Well, in closing, I want to say thank you, both of you, and you could share this with other people who could watch it. And also, I want to hear results. Like Tom said, I'm shy, but I asked this other comic. My cousin happened to move here. He's alone now. That's beautiful.
And
Not
even
that
and
he's alone.
Alex said that she's gonna, start thinking about other ways.
Beautiful. I'm so glad it can make a difference.
Yeah, that's all we want. We just want to. We get people to shows, but we don't want to keep it a secret. We want to share it. So thank you for letting us share.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody. You did a
Bye.
good job.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.